deduction doon sa bill nitong pasyente, nitong beneficiary po ng police personnel.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita, the member or the beneficiary can still avail of the full benefits of PhilHealth, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita.
So kung nangyari po yan doon sa personnel ng PNP na sinasabi ko, possible po na nangyayari din ito sa ibang personnel, even sa private po. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
That's correct, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita.
Ano po, Mr. Chair, ang epekto nito sa PhilHealth budget or funds kung hindi po natin ma-check yung mga ganitong kaso na na-deduct na sa police personnel or other employees at hindi naman na-remit sa PhilHealth, ano pong epekto nito?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita, employers, including government agencies, are required to submit a quarterly report of their PhilHealth deduction from their employees, as well as their contribution every quarter. So when an agency fails to submit those reports, as well as remit the corresponding amount, we immediately correspond with them and inform them of such lapse, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita. And if there's a need, then we immediately rectify the non-submission of those reports, as well as the non-remittance of the amount, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita.
Mr. Chair, last question. Meron na po ba kayong government agency or private companies or agencies na na-find out ninyo na hindi po tumatama yung contributions? Meaning, malaki yung na-collect nila pero hindi na-remit or na-forward sa PhilHealth. Meron po ba kayong list ng mga ganitong agencies or company?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita, PhilHealth in general has already cases filed against non-remitting employers, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita.
Pwede po ba, Mr. Chair, malaman natin from the PhilHealth kung sino itong mga agencies na may ganitong problema? Pwede kaya pong mag-request na mag-submit sila ng report sa Honorable Committee?
Yes, Mr.
Honorable
Chairperson, Honorable Representative Bosita, we will comply with the directive.
Yun lang, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Tingin ko, mga gutom na yung mga kasama natin.
Thank you, Honorable Bosita.
Sorry, can we ask also Dr. Clem, kasi siya po yung nag-explain sa atin nung rationalization ng 9,000 case rates. If she can, it's not super clear to me what the timeline is, like, and what the end goal is. Ano ba mangyayari dyan? So ang sinabi niyo lang, magiging less than 9,000. Ano ba yung target support value? I suppose meron yung target support value kasi sa ngayon, 10% ang average support value ng ating case rates. At hindi natin maaasahan na mag-low balance billing. At of course, pag ma-rationalize yan at magiging maganda-ganda ang support value, baka maasahan natin na magkaroon ng magandang compliance sa no balance billing. Yun naman ang pinatutunguhan natin, di ba? So, pwede ba natin malaman yun ba ang purpose ng rationalization? One is to simplify and then to have a correct, more or less, case rate towards, syempre when you say correct, I suppose hindi naman yan 100%, right? Because for insurance purposes, you don't want naman to cover 100%. Tama ba ako?
Dr.
Is that
Bautista?
correct? I don't know what the approach is. So explain to us ano yung target ninyo. Now that you know the true cost, so you can actually say, okay, we'll cover 100%. But what is that the correct policy that you've adopted? Ano bang in-adopt ninyo?
Mr. Chair, for the development of the DRGs now, which is actually the grouping of the ACRs right now, is also a case-based payment, but yun nga, nakagroup po yung mga cases and procedures based on a grouper that was develop, no? So
Can
the
you,
intention
can you
right
speak
now,
louder?
the intention po is to get the full cost of care, and from there, for at least for the you want to cover the full cost of care, at least for the NBB or for the wards, the as in accordance to the law, there should be no co-payment, no, for the ward accommodation. This is, of course, for the public hospitals, and a certain percentage in the private hospitals. So, in general, the intention is to reach a support value of 30%. Sorry, out of pocket, to reduce it to 30% by the year 2028.
So, which means you want to increase PhilHealth insurance support value from 10 to 30. Kasi right now, 44% ang out of pocket. Tama ba? 44. You want to reduce out of pocket to 30. So you want to shave off 15%. So you want to shift that 15% to PhilHealth. So you want to increase support value of PhilHealth from 10 to 25. Is that correct? Is that the policy that you've adopted?
As mentioned po, yun po yung target, is to decrease po yung out of pocket to 30%.
Hindi, kaya nga, that is to reduce out of pocket. So, I want your commitment. Sasaluhin niyo po ba ang pag-shave off ng 15 points from out of pocket? Kasi pwede naman pumunta sa DOH di ba? In terms of MAIP. So, yun ang tanong po. Sasaluhin ba ng PhilHealth? You need to know that you're the one developing the case rates, hindi po ba?
Mr. Chair, yes, that's the intention, that PhilHealth should cover that.
So, Mr. Chair, it has to be clear to her, di ba? Kasi siya nag-a-adjust ng case rates So, sa pag-adjust mo ng case rate, kailangan sure ka na it has to be high enough so that ma-achieve mo yung target mo na support value. So, kung hindi pa maliwanag at ngayon lang naging maliwanag, may problema po. Ang hinar po ninyo sa EDB. I'm just saying, Mr. Chair. If no further questions, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
President Desma.
So what? So to try to address the question of Honorable Kimbo, our baseline, our status for the PhilHealth share to current health expenditure was 10.2% in 2023. Now for 2025, our target is to increase it from 10.2% to 17.5% po. So an increase of, we're targeting an increase of 7.3%
Yes,
po.
Mr. Chair. But the way to do that is by adjusting your case rates. Yun nga sinasabi ko. And as Dr. Clem is adjusting the case rates, kailangan maliwanag sa kanya kung ano yung kanyang target na hinahabol. So, kung hindi yun maliwanag sa kanya, baka nag-adjust siya, yung pala, she falls short of the target. So, pagbalik ninyo dito, mapapagalitan na naman kayo kasi hindi ninyo naabot yung sinabi po ninyong 17%. But, as it turns out, the overall sectoral goal pala is to reduce out of pocket from 44 to 30. So, a 15, tama ba? 44 to 30. So, 15, more or less a 15-point drop. But that means you need to increase it from 10 to 25. So, medyo bitin po, right? But if you're looking at a 2-year period, so from 10 to 17 to 25 in a 2-year period. So, these are the kinds of things that you need to plan out in a 2-year period. So, unahin nyo ba ang, yun po. So, yun ang hingin po namin mula sa inyo, isubmit po ni Dr. Clem sa amin, yung pong, kasi Dr. Clem, that is the importance of your task as you are grouping the case rates into disease related groups and you are adjusting the case rates. You must adjust those case rates by 2025 and then by 2026 to certain levels such that you achieve first 17% by the end of 2025 and then to 25% by the end of 2026. So those are the clear targets, Mr. Chair. So if, again, just for clarity, pasubmit na lang po, Mr. Chair, so that at least it's on record na ito na po ang commitments ng PhilHealth. Right. Salamat, Chair.
Will
Thank
comply,
you.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Kimbo. Thank you, President Ledesma. Last, Honorable Wilbert Lee.
Bibilisan ko lang to, no? In the interest of time, no? Ang next question ko dito, Mr. Chair, tungkol po dito sa PCPN, no? Kasama po ito dun sa commitment letter na napirmahan, no? Roll out of PCPN, no? O Primary Care Provider Network Model to public and private network providers. And yet narinig ko po, Mr. Chair, na parang hininto po ito bigla ng Department of Health, no? So, mamaya ko natatanungin sabay-sabay. Gusto ko lang po sabihin, Mr. Chair, nabasa ko po yung position paper na pinadala po ng ating apat na local chief executives, no? Governor Helen Tan of Quezon Province, Bataan Governor Joet Garcia, South Cotabato Governor Reynaldo Tamay Jr., and Baguio City Mayor Benji Magalong, no? Lahat po ay nagsasabi na ito ay isang malaking tagumpay, no? Contrary sa sinasabing failure daw ito, no? In fact, may mga datos po dito na nagpapakita na ito po ay napakalaking tulong, no? Yun pong mga sakit nalalaman kaagad, bilyon-bilyon din ang natitipid ng ating pamahalaan dahil naaagapan po kaagad, no? Dahil po dito sa primary care na to, no? Ngayon, ang datos po, bibilisan ko lang, sa Quezon, more than 800,000 Quezonian residents ang narehistro. Out of this, 250,000 po ang nagkaroon na ng access sa primary care consultation and diagnostic test, no? Addressing a significant portions of the province healthcare needs. Sa South Cotabato, 349,152 or 96% of its targeted membership ang narehistro. Out of this, 184,448 na po ang nabigyan ng one-time consultation and given medicines and diagnostic test, no? Sa Bataan naman, ganun din, no? 777, 815,000 beneficiaries for a contracted population of 850,000 or 91.5%. Ang nabigyan na po ng konsultasyon ay 453,549. Gayon din po sa Baguio City, no? Ang target po doon na mabigyan ay sa Baguio po ay 133,000 beneficiaries. Nabigyan na po ito ng pangunahing konsultasyon, no, at mga diagnostic test. Lahat po ng datos na to, Mr. Chair, nagpapakita na malaking success po yung PCPN, no? At gaya ng sabi ko, malaking katipiran din ito sa ating pamahalaan, no? Importante po to, no? At isa pa, nandito po ito sa commitment na pinirma ng ating secretary. September 25 niya pinirmahan, barely a month has passed, pinatigil niya ito bigla, no? Ano ba po ito? Ano pong dahilan? Gusto ko pong malaman kung ano po ang dahilan, bakit niya po ito pinatigil. Tayo ba po ay naglolokohan dito? Dahil ito po ay commitment po, hindi lang sa Kongreso, commitment po ito sa taong bayan. Ano ba ang dahilan, bakit ito hininto?
Before we recognize the ASEC Domingo, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of committee member Honorable Leo Rodriguez from the Lone District of Catanduanes. ASEC Domingo.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Hindi po DOH ang nagpatigil, ang Board of Directors po ng PhilHealth ang nagpatigil. At ang dahilan po niyan ay alinsunod sa batas. Ayaw po natin makipaglokohan, lalo na pag pera ng bayan ang pinag-uusapan. Pag pera ng bayan ang pinag-uusapan, sumusunod tayo sa binanggit ng ating management, ang Commission on Audit sa guidelines. Ang cash advance ay hindi po pinapayagan, mahigpit ang mga guidelines pagdating sa cash advance. Iba ho siya sa front-loading na sinasabi na tinutupad naman po. At sa ating batas, sa Republic Act 11223, Section 6D, andun po ang every Filipino shall register with the public or private primary care provider of choice. Kailangan pong malaman muna mula sa ating mga kababayan kung sino ang pinipili nila. Hindi yung ibibigay yung pangalan nila, tas iba yung magre-rehistro para sa kanila. Napakalinaw ho ng ating batas, sumusunod lamang po tayo. Ikalawa, ang sukat ng tagumpay ay dapat kinukumpara sa baseline. Kung sasabihin po natin na yan ay tagumpay, maaari dahil tayo ay may tiwala sa kakayahan ng 4 na chief executives ng ating mga LGUs. Ngunit sa isang pag-aaral po, kailangan linawin natin, talaga bang yung cash advance na hindi pinapayagan ng ating COA ang naging dahilan ng tagumpay or dahil magaling talaga magpatakbo ang ating mga gobernador at ating mayor? Which the DOH and the other board members think is the reason kung bakit successful sa kanilang mga LGUs. Ano yung nito, datos na ipapakita natin? 5 milyong Pilipino na po ang naparehistro sa regular consulta program, which is numerically much more with respect dun sa mga nagpa-FPE sa ating mga PCPN sites. Hindi natin sinasabi na hindi sila magaling. Ang sinasabi natin is yung payment mechanism na cash advance na hindi ginugusto ng COA ang siyang maaaring dahilan, maaaring hindi dahilan, hindi makita sa ating mga numero. At dahil ayaw nga natin po ang makapaglokohan, pag pera ng bayan ang ating pinag-uusapan, dapat malinaw po tayo sa datos. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, may I ask the PhilHealth for their comment regarding this? Kasi sinasabi, PhilHealth daw ang hinto nito. May I ask the PhilHealth for their comment on this? Kasi malinaw na malinaw, Mr. Chair, nakarating po ito sa akin, sa representanteng ito, dahil po sa 4 na local chief executives, no? Parang nabitin na ano pong gagawin nila ngayon doon. No? So, gusto ko po malaman din sa PhilHealth kung ano po ang comment nila tungkol dito.
Mr.
Attorney
Chairperson,
Santos.
Honorable Representative Lee, from what I heard from ASEC Albert, it was the PhilHealth Board, Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Lee, which decided for PCPN, Mr. Chairperson. And for that, Mr. Chairperson, may we request comment if ever there's a representative from the PhilHealth Board to answer that question. Mr. Chairperson, please, Honorable Representative Lee.
Mr. Chair, pero di ba si Secretary Herbosa yun ang chairman ng board ng PhilHealth, no? So, ibig sabihin, nagpapasahan ba tayo rito ng bola, no?
Mr. Chair, hindi po. Kaya po nagsalita na po ako. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So, ang rason is dahil meron sa batas, sa COA, sa batas na hindi pwede ito. In the first place, bakit po tayo nagkaroon nito ng PCPN na ito, no? Nagkaroon pa ng sandbox sites, no? Nagkaroon pa ng sites, no? Para ito po ay subukan, no? And then pagkatapos po dito, ay bigla pong ihihinto ito, no? So, paano ba? Ano bang nangyari dito? Ano pang sinimulan nito talaga, ASEC?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Babalik po ako sa nakasulat sa batas, yun pong section na 6D ng ating Universal Healthcare Act, kung saan nakalagay po merong choice ang ating mga mamamayan kung saan sila magpapalista. Ang mekanismo po kasi ng PCPN, kinukuha sa database ng PhilHealth yung pangalan. By the way, marami rin hong question pagdating sa database ang ating Commission on Audit. Hindi ko na ho papasukin yun, pero naka-findings po yun. Tapos pag may na-generate po na listahan, yun po yung sinasubmit na for payment of the capitation. Hindi na ho nagkaroon ng pagkakataon para mag-comply dun sa Section 6D ng ating Republic Act 11223 na kailangan munang malaman ano ba ang diwa, ano ba ang saloobin, ano ba ang kagustuhan ng ating mamamayan kung saan sila magpaparegister. Sumusunod lamang po tayo sa batas, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, nagkaroon kasi ako ng position paper, no. Nasagot ba ito ng DOH, no? Kasi dito sa position paper po ng 4 na local chief executives, pinadala daw po ito sa DOH, no? Maybe be furnished kung nasagot nila to o nalaman kung sinagot ba ninyo ito. Baka pwede nyo kami bigyan nung sa sinasabi nyo kung ano naman yung position nyo rito, no? Kasi may position paper, hindi nyo raw to sinasagot. So ano po ang sagot nyo rito?
Mr. Chair, meron pong direktiba ang Board of Directors sa management na sagutin po yung mga sulat, yung mga liham. Yun po ang ating inaantay in the proper form of corporate governance. Pag lumabas po yung sagot ng management which is based on the board decision na hawak naman po nila yung minutes, mako-comply po yun, Mr. Chair.
So wala pang sagot ngayon.
Wala pa po, to my knowledge, unless ang CEO po or COO ay makakasabi na sumagot na po sila.
CEO, sumagot na ba ang PhilHealth dito, Mr. Chair?
I'm not aware, Mr. Chair, if management has already addressed the questions on that, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Chair, so hintayin na lang po natin, no, yung kasagutan dito, no, and maybe ma-furnish din po tayo rito sa committee ng tungkol dito. Last 2 questions, Mr. Chair, no. Maraming hospital kasi ang hindi nakakaalam pa nitong mga benefit increases, no. In fact, meron po akong nalaman na cesarean 19,000 dati, 37,500 na po ngayon, no, ang bawas, no. So, ito pong mga aggressive information dissemination, dapat po ito ginagawa, no? Two nights ago, yung anak ko po, Mr. Chair, nakagat ng aso. Hindi ko nga alam, nakasama pala ito, no? Nalaman ko rin, nakasama actually, nag-check ako, no? May HMO naman po yan ako, pero nag-check lang ako sa PhilHealth, kaya Renet, no? SBP Renet. Kasama pala. And then, nung sinubukan ko sa Cardinal Santos, sabi nung hospital, gabi po yun, kailangan daw naka-confine, no? Bago pinadala na ako ng policy ni EVP Renet o injection. Pinadala ako, 11,000 pala yung coverage. Pinadala ko ng guidelines, binasa ko po, wala naman po doon nakasulat na kailangan inpatient, no? So, napakarami pa pong ganitong mga kaso na hindi po nalalaman ng mga hospitals, no, itong mga deductions. So, meron pang nagpunta po sa aking opisina na ang diagnosis daw, hindi po ako medical doctor, kaya hindi ko po alam na yung nailagay daw ng doktor ay iba po dun sa, pero pareho lang daw po pala yun, no? Parang may ibang pangalan. Pero yung nakalagay dun sa computer or doon sa tinitingnan sa program ay ibang pangalan, pero yun na pala yun, no? So, hindi raw na-deduct yun. So, maybe yung mga nagpa-process nito na mga claims na to, eh dapat siguro ma-train or maging adept din sa mga medical terms na ganito, no? Kasi nangyayari po ito, no, Mr. Chair, no? And then-
Can I
yes.
interject? Can I get a categorical statement from PhilHealth? Pag kinagat ng aso ba, kailangan ba ma-confine?
Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Lee, as stated a while ago, we have a benefit package, emergency benefit package that covers emergency treatment in the ER for stay for less than 24 hours. So we have that. So
So
if for purposes of giving emergency treatment, that is already covered by PhilHealth. On the other hand, we also have for animal bites, we have a separate package for that. and this is being provided by the accredited Animal Bite Center. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable Representative Lee.
But in the case of the son
Sa
of Honorable
hospital,
Lee,
yes.
pagka animal bites, kinagat ng aso,
Dinala
sa
sa
emergency
emergency
room, binigyan ng anti-rabies and anti-tetanus, covered ng PhilHealth. You don't have to be confined.
Mr. Chairperson, may we request the Dr. Clem Bautista, Mr. Person, who developed the package, whether or not for the emergency package, the anti-rabies and everything is covered.
Dr. Bautista? Dr. Bautista?
Mr. Chair, I would just have to check po. Marami po kasi yung listahan na yon ng mga services that are included in the.
I think that's a very simple question. Pag kinagat ng aso, natural, kailangan mong magpa-anti-rabies. Pupunta ka sa emergency room. Do you have to be confined to be covered by PhilHealth?
No, Mr.
No.
Chair, no.
Okay, yun lang. That's very clear.